Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Warframe Digest. I'm going to slow down because people have told me I'm a little too fast. So, let's see what happened. As you can see already, there is an animation that's looping in the background. This animation is brought to us in courtesy by youtube.com/mashed, who are in collaboration with DE to make a short Warframe series, a short film series, or animation shorts, dubbed the first 100 days of Warframe, or first 100, or just 100 days of Warframe, either or, 100 days of Warframe, first 100 days, one way or another. It seems to fall along the lines of Waking Up for the Cryopods and the journey from a new player between the first day to the 100th day, and it's all over the place, and it seems very interesting. If anything, this will have some nice insight in the world of Warframe, since it's in collaboration with DE, and we might get some nice bits of lore. Maybe it's canon, maybe it's non-canon, and it seems very interesting. It's going to be very beautiful, and it is expected to drop some point this summer. Currently we're already in summer, but it might be somewhere near the end of summer, or before the end of summer. So keep an eye on it, follow them on their YouTube channel, I know I am, and let's see what happens. The animator from this is OdaKing77077, also known for his work with the TIE Fighter short film, which was very interesting. It gave me this sense of like nostalgia from early 90s cartoons, and it seems very promising. It is high quality work, and he seems to have just gotten by far better over the years. Moving on to the next bit of information, they also showed off a nice quick early reveal of the next Prime bundle set. The Prime Melee, Prime Primary, and Prime Warframe. As follows, the Prime Primary will be the Galatine, and people already are going all over the place with this. They don't know how powerful it is. People are going to say it's going to be very overwhelming. It might throw out the Cindo or the Fragor, and we really don't know necessarily, but it is a very pretty weapon to see golden, which is also the same thing I can say about the next weapon, which is the primary, which is the Prime Tigress, or Prime Tigris, either or. Actually, it's Tigris, because it's T-I-R, Tigris. No, it's Tigris, T-I-G. Okay, and moving forward, I digress! And the Tigris seems to be all over the place. People are very skeptical about it. Maybe it's weaker than the Sancti Tigris, or maybe it's stronger. Primes tend to normally be stronger, but we don't necessarily know with DE stats values and everything like that, and just the nature of the game. And it is going to be a beautiful weapon to add to our arsenal. And some people are all over the place, and some people really are not happy about the next Prime Warframe, and that is Necros Prime. I'm on the fence about it. I really don't know. I really don't care much anymore. And he does seem very interesting, and it's just another Warframe to add to the arsenal. Which is very interesting are his Warframe changes, which is currently unknown, except for one thing, which will be Desecrate will be a castable ability you can toggle on and off, and also it will apply an AoE around Necros that will follow him much more along the line of Banshee Silence. So it's going to be very interesting to see this in the works and see what other changes are coming follow suit with Necros Prime. We can expect Necros to come around following the normal DE cycle somewhere around the 90th day or so of the Vauban Prime access, or maybe what Sheldon said at the end of the Mag vault opening when that vault closes, well, somewhere around then and there. They also showed off the next deluxe skin for the next Warframe, and that is Nova's deluxe skin. My opinion on this is kind of scatterbrained. I am kind of leaning more to I don't necessarily like it. I like the interesting overall nature of it, but I really don't know how to feel about it. But then again, I'm not really a big Nova player, so we'll see what other big Nova players think about this. I know some of them are very, very upset. I don't know. Moving on, though. They also showed off Titania's noble animation, and since this is a noble animation, you can apply it to pretty much any Warframe, and I'm already thinking about a floating rhino doing all these dainty little princessy things, and that's gonna be funny. But anyway, it's going to be very interesting to see Titania in her full glory, considering her powers were revealed. Her passive will allow that of better bullet jump, and a better bullet jump that also benefits allies. So you get better bullet jump, they get better bullet jump, you all get better bullet jump! And that seems to be it for the passive. Her first ability is currently dubbed Fairy Dust. We don't know if that's the final name, but it will provide a levitation proc on enemies. It will apply a levitation status onto enemies affected by it and disarming them promptly with a lot of CC potential, and allies that are affected by Fairy Dust will be proc immune as long as the Fairy Dust is applied, which will be pretty interesting and very supportive for the party. Her second ability is currently dubbed Soul Swipe. You can swipe the souls of enemies that are nearby or about to die at your touch, and you get different boons from different enemies. So a Lancer can give you a different power-up from that of a Eviscerator, and same from a Drock Master or Haika Master or a Scorcher, and so on and so forth. So let's see how this works out and what these different buffs are, and could be pretty interesting. Her third ability currently is dubbed Lamp Lighter, which will levitate an enemy into the air and make them start glowing this bright energy, and all your Razor Butterflies will go and surround that glowing stationary enemy, much like moths to a flame. And with that same analogy, all enemies that will see the floating, levitating, glowing beacon of an enemy will be attracted to them, and the Razor Butterflies will promptly deal with the solution. So that seems very interesting, and putting that in doorways is going to be very, very fun. Her final ability is Placeholder at the moment with the name of Shrink. As the name implies, Titania will be able to shrink to 1/10 of a Warframe size, tiny Arcwing size, and her skirt will deploy a personal Arcwing that only is applicable in standard missions. In normal Arcwing, she will use normal Arcwing attachments, but in mission, when she shrinks down, she has her skirt deploy into an Arcwing. And along with shrinking to that size, your Razor Butterflies will be swarming around with you, and as the Razor Butterflies are destroyed, all the power is distributed to the remaining butterflies and to Titania herself, doing interesting and massive amounts of damage to the enemy. So it's going to be fun to see a small little Warframe flying around and just blasting Grineer in the face that are 10 times larger than you, and just dismembering them like there's no tomorrow. They also talked about Tennocon's charity overall earnings, since all proceeds from ticket sales went to a charity organization of their choice, which at this moment was Outward Bound Canada, and they earned a whopping total of $78,839 respectively, which is very interesting and very nice to see going to charity and to those that require such charity and such support and assistance. They also talked about a little bit of Q&A with the audience, and it seems to be all over the place. They talked about Kavats and Kubro commands. Those are in the works. They don't really know. They want to add more functionality and control to your companions, but no idea when this feature will be implemented into the game in its entirety. They also talked about the future of trials, and it seems to be a little scatterbrain. It's all over the place, and they are planning to potentially add a new trial with the corpus in mind this time around. So we'll see what happens then and when that comes around. They also talked about potentially being the next milestone in the game is going beyond the solar system. And that implies that we'll be going further past Pluto and most likely to the solar system of that of the sentients and bringing the fight to them. So it'll be very interesting to see this, and whenever it gets implemented, most likely U20 or however they're dubbing it with a new naming system, and no idea when that will be coming along. Last but not least, they also talked about The War Within. The cinematic trailer for The War Within Part 2 is available currently at youtube.com/playwarframe. If you want to see the entirety of it there with the audio and all, then feel free to hop on over there and watch it in its full glory. Same thing with any other things that were presented here and that were covered in Tennocon as of late. No idea about any other things from the YouTubers or streamers or any of the content creators that were there, only the panel floor for Tennocon Live, and from the looks of Twitter and everything, it was mad fun, and unfortunately, I was not there. So, congratulations to DE for the successful event. Hopefully they do it again next year. They're talking about maybe doing it a 2-day thing, and maybe I'll be there next time. So, until next time, Tenno, have fun, take it easy, and see you guys in-game.